Oop asks if she is the off for wanting to meet her daughter. I am not Oop. Oop is you, throwaway 30,439,054, and she posted on r, am I the asshole? Mood spoiler. Hopeful for Oop. Less than. Original post October 31, 2022. Long story short. In my 40s I had a one-night stand with this guy, Nathan. Now 41 meters. And got pregnant. I first thought of having an abortion. But Nathan had come from a conservative religious background, not Christian, and wanted the baby, so we made a deal. I would give birth to the child and sign away my parental rights. My name is not even in her birth certificate. It's a possibility in my country. And he would pay all the medical expenses plus some extra for my troubles. That's what we did, and didn't keep contact after his daughter was born. A few weeks ago, a friend of mine who has the same religion as Nathan sent me a post from her temple's youth group. They were asking for donations for the homeless. And one of the girls from the picture looked a lot like me. I searched for her profile and found out that she had Nathan's surname and had the right age to be the baby I gave away. She's 17 now and seems to be doing fine. She is involved in charity work. Apparently loves music and has lots of pictures with friends and family. Nathan, his wife and half-siblings. I never wanted nor want to be a mother, but I became curious to know more about this human I put in the world. So I texted Nathan's old phone number, which he has not changed, and asked if he would allow me to meet his daughter, since I gave birth to her and everything, and made my intentions clear. I do not want to interfere with his family, just to know her. He then wrote a long text which comes down to the fact that I am an asshole for wanting to know his daughter now after I abandoned her, and that this meeting would only mess up with her head. I told him I was telling him out of courtesy because soon the girl will be an adult and be able to choose herself if she wants to meet me. He then blocked me. Am I being the asshole here? I don't think there is any harm in meeting my daughter. She already has a great family, and it would only be beneficial to her to know about her own history. But maybe I am not seeing the full picture. Also sorry for any mistakes or weird phrases. English is not my first language. Update on the same post. Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for your judgment. Some of you were pretty harsh and a bit misogynistic, to be honest. But I needed to hear what the well-intentioned comments had to say. Some answers to common assumptions. I wasn't coerced into giving birth. Nathan and I reached an agreement in a situation that involved us both. I'll admit that I was young, didn't know what pregnancy was really like, and needed the money, which I'm not proud of, but hey, y'all are gonna judge me anyway. I didn't want to reach out to Nathan's daughter just because she looks like me. I only mentioned it because this is what made me realize that the girl on the picture was the child I gave birth to, but it blew out of proportion. I don't know why some people assumed Nathan is Christian and why they were judging him for being religious. He is Jewish and I am agnostic myself, but don't think it's a problem for him to have a strong bond with his religion. The one-night stand happened when we were very young, and I don't know what his views are about that. But it doesn't matter. His daughter apparently is very attached to their community, and it's important to her. Also, I might have used the word temple wrong, but I'm not Jewish myself. When I said I don't want to be a mother, I didn't mean I didn't want a relationship with Nathan's daughter. I am not her mother since I didn't raise, and don't want to take this place from the person who truly did. His wife. I also chose not to have children of my own. So after reading your comments, I came to a better understanding of what my role is in this situation and decided to reach out to his wife through social media to try to make amends. She was very understanding and explained to me that Nathan had a couple of tough years being a single dad before meeting her, and me coming back like that made it seem like some of you pointed out. That I wanted to skip the hard parts and become a parent out of nowhere. Which was never my intention. They told their daughter that her birth mother had to go back to her home country and couldn't take care of her. Which was kind. The wife is going to talk to Nathan to leave the door open if their daughter wants to meet me when she's older, and I gave her all my contact information for when and if the time comes. I'll admit I was being a bit selfish here. So that is the best ending I could hope for. Thank you again. It's a tough one because I understand changing your mind and wanting to know your child, but the father is right that this could create a lot of issues for the daughter. Considering Oop 1. Didn't even know what they told the girl about her birth mother. Did she even know her father's wife wasn't her birth mother? And 2. The fact Oop basically threatened the father to contact her daughter when she was a legal adult suggests Oop was never worried about her daughter and was just focused on her own selfish needs, wants. I'm Jewish, and in the more observant communities, children are only Jewish if their mothers are. The U.S. Reform movement recognizes children with at least one Jewish parent and who are raised Jewish. Most other groups require a Jewish mother specifically. So, one reason the father might not want the birth mom to meet the daughter is that their community might not consider the daughter to be properly Jewish if the circumstances of her birth were known. Unless the dad arranged for the daughter's conversion as a child, the parents not being married could also be an issue for her community. We need a rule that BORU posts with rational people need to be rewritten by the BORU poster to include at least one of the following: self-involved lunatics attacking others, illicit sexual misadventures, gross entitlement, a cousin getting punched unconscious repeatedly. Posts like this one are really disorienting. Pregnancy and childbirth is no joke and changes your body inside and out, forever. Bringing a baby into the world for him as a surrogate of sorts, instead of just getting an abortion, was a really big and selfless thing to do. She's not a bad person. It seems pretty reasonable to me. She didn't want a child, so she gave her up. And then years later, she just wanted to meet her, not become her mother. Feels like Oop was being kind of selfish at first, maybe still is. Not that she needed to be a mother figure, but that she's ready to spring into this person's life without considering the consequences of that. True. Info about potential health history and perhaps limited extended family could be helpful. But if the daughter hasn't expressed interest, feels kind of self-serving and icky, like she thinks she has any kind of right to know this person. Thank goodness for the adoptive mother. Nathan's position is understandable, but unreasonable. It's not his place to decide whether Oop can meet her daughter. That's up to the girl. I first thought of having an abortion, but Nathan had come from a conservative religious background, not Christian, and wanted the baby. I wasn't coerced into giving birth. Nathan and I reached an agreement in a situation that involved us both. I'll admit that I was young, didn't know what pregnancy was really like, and needed the money. Being bribed into giving birth when you don't want to isn't much better. I'm not sure how to feel about the accusation from the guy who convinced her out of the abortion. That op was abandoning the child and coming back to skip the hard parts when he very much did coerce her with money to leave the child with him in the first place. It's hard for me to think of op as an asshole in this situation. I feel like male or female, if you walk out on the kid and don't do any of the actual parenting, then you're not a parent and have zero right to come around just cause you've changed your mind. You were gone and should remain gone. However, if the actual child, now a fully formed adult, wants to reach out to ask questions or build a relationship, then that is solely on them. But don't think you will suddenly become a parent. You won't. I wasn't coerced into giving birth. Nathan and I reached an agreement in a situation that involved us both. I'll admit that I was young, didn't know what pregnancy was really like and needed the money. Which I'm not proud of, but hey, y'all are gonna judge me anyway. This rubs me the wrong way and I don't know if I can really articulate it. But a comparison I can think of is, it's illegal to sell your organs partly because people that are desperate for money but don't really want to could be pressured into it. And this feels similar. Would she have aborted if she hadn't gotten bribed with money? And if so, then it wasn't a free choice. It was a desperate one. I don't know what to make of the characters involved in the story. Oop seems to reject the idea of coercion, but is somehow manipulated into giving birth as well as giving up her rights as a mother, which she wasn't much excited about from the start. Moreover, when she and Nathan had an agreement, why is she trying to break it now when the child has a mother figure in her life already? It would cause disruptions for the child. Guy from the Ons doesn't fare much better as he coerced her to give birth to the child. Likewise, how could he accuse Oop of abandoning her child when she didn't want to give birth to one from the start? Nathan's wife seems to be the only sensible person in the story. I'm happy the child has her as a mother in her life. I can't help but like her heart. One thing that she could do to help her bio daughter would be to write up her medical history and pass that to the girl's parents. As an adopted person, to me the only issue I really had was with Oop assuming it would be beneficial for the girl to know her. Every child responds differently to being adopted and every situation is different. In a best-case scenario, it is left up to the child in question, who has been told the truth from the very beginning, and all adults are supportive of the child's decision. Am I the only one who thinks the father lied to the daughter about her birth mom and is freaking out because now his lies will be revealed? The child is 17. In 1 year she's going to be old enough to decide for herself. He should have anticipated this day would come and prepared for it. The fact that he's not ready is sus to me. Frankly, Op did him a solid by giving him a heads up when she really didn't have to. She could have just waited until the daughter turned 18 and completely circumvented him. Such a narcissistic trash, this woman. Literally threatened the father with the daughter she decided to leave behind. It's just amazing how after all her narcissistic rant she still thought telling her daughter that she left to her country and all that was to help her. Someone please explain to her that she doesn't matter at all. That everyone was looking after the girl's well-being and they were even courteous towards her. Sorry ass in the process. Sounds like that girl has had a good life with her true parents and that the lady who threw her out her vagina never adds herself to the girl's life. Some of y'all really don't realize Oop got coerced into having a baby and it really shows. Hope it'll be less openly misogynistic in a few hours. I don't have strong opinions on the post either way, beyond what some commenters have mentioned about it potentially being a bad idea for Oop to meet her daughter based on how rigidly the daughter's community ascribes to matrilineal Judaism. I'm Jewish. That said, some of you are being incredibly, intensely misogynistic in the comments. I come to observe a pattern that people will absolve themselves of intent as long as it's not consciously apparent to them. Oh, I didn't mean for this to happen. I just set off the exact sequence of events that would result in this very outcome. She says swooping in to become a mother after skipping the hard part isn't what she intends. But that is exactly what's going to happen. Just because you aren't willing to admit something to yourself doesn't mean the other people affected by your actions have to go along with it. Everything about Oop's post is about me. She didn't even stop to think how this would affect the father's daughter and what might have been said to the child. This could rip a family apart and she doesn't care. It's beyond selfish. I get she might have changed her mind, but if she cared just a small but for the girl, she should actually worry about her. She wanted to meet the child that she put in this world, and that is okay. Since the birth ACC to Oop was transactional, he pays the medical bills plus extra for her trouble, and he gets the child while she has no burden of raising one. I never wanted nor want to be a mother, but I became curious to know more about this human I put in the world. So I texted Nathan's old phone number, which he has not changed, and asked if he would allow me to meet his daughter, since I gave birth to her and everything. Oop wanting to meet the child since she gave birth and everything disregards that Nathan already paid her for her troubles. Oop wants to be a mother, she just doesn't know it yet. If she did not want that, she would have accepted Nathan's text and not contacted his wife. Emo people who leave their children or sign away rights have no business contacting them after doing so. Some people only want a child after the formative, difficult years have gone by, and now suddenly they want to know about the adult kid.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.